Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the infertility issues occurring in human. So first we'll discuss about the ones which is seen in the males as well as then we will follow with the females. Now, what do we first mean by the term infertility? It is the inability of a couple to produce children. Now, it could be due to several reasons. If we talk about the males, we know it is the male gamete that has to be produced. So, if the male gamete, which is suppose that is the sperm that has to be produced, if it is in very less count, that is a condition. Then there could be situations where in the semen there is no sperm present at all, or if the sperms are produced, they are of very poor quality. So, we are discussing here about three different things. Also, remember, while studying in chapter number 3, we discussed about the scrotum, which is consisting of the which encloses the testis. If testis fails to descend into the scrotum, we call that condition as cryptorchidism. So that is again one important kind of infertility seen among the males. Cryptorchidism, if occurs in an individual, in a male individual, the sperm production will be affected. It is because the scrotum helps in maintaining, it will help in reducing the temperature 2 to 3 degrees celsius, slightly less than the body temperature, in order to regulate the process of spermatogenesis. Now, if due to any reason if it fails to descend into the scrotum, we call it as the cryptorchidism. In this case, there is no sperm production. So there are cases where there is totally no sperm production. We call that as azoospermia. We call that as azoospermia. There is yet another condition where the sperms are produced but they have a very low count. So low sperm count, the condition is called as oligospermia. And the next, where the sperms are produced but they are of very poor quality. By poor quality of sperm, we mean about its motility. If the sperms are produced but they are unable to move right into the female reproductive tract, then it is again useless. So these are some of the conditions that could be seen. Mostly the causes behind this is the tight clothing among the males. Also, if they work in such a condition where the temperature around them is hot, that will also affect the fertility rate in them. So very hot conditions, very tight kind of clothing. Also, if an individual takes certain medicines like for blood pressure for a very long time period, then in future it can affect their fertility rate. And also, if in some cases the person has a very strained lifestyle, if the person is always stressful, that is affecting the fertility. So these are some of the common causes seen in case of the males. Now, what are the different kinds of infertility observed in the females? So if we start with, we know first it would be about the egg cell production. If the eggs are not being produced, we know this process is under the control of hormones. Oogenesis has been affected by hormones like there is GnRH, there is FSH, LH. If any of the hormones are not secreted in an adequate amount, that can result into failure of egg production. So if there is no egg production, there is one situation. Now, let's say if the eggs are properly produced, but where does the fertilization occur? In the ampullary stomach junction that is located in the fallopian tube. If due to some reason the fallopian tube is twisted, due to some reason, we know this is the fallopian tube, and here the sperm and the female gamete are supposed to undergo fusion. Due to some reason, if this is getting coiled, or if there is some sort of blockage over here, then the fertilization process is unable to occur even though the male gamete and female gametes are present in whatever sufficient amount. But since there is a blockage over here, blockage preventing fusion of gametes, and this blockage could be due to coiling or twisting of the fallopian tube, or the fallopian tube is also known as the oviduct, or it could be due to an infection in the fallopian tube. Either of the cases, it can be treated. Like if there is an oviduct which has undergone twisting, that could be surgically improvised. If there is an infection, then antibiotics could be given. So there is a cure for that. Next, if say all these two are working properly, means the eggs are produced in a proper manner, if the fusion of gametes are occurring, then the next is implantation. If the implantation successfully does not occur in the endometrium, then again there is an issue. Though the fertilization has occurred successfully, because of the failure of implantation, miscarriages would occur. Also, there are situations where ectopic pregnancy is seen. Means we know that it is the endometrium region in which the implantation has to occur. But what if within the fallopian tube, if within the fallopian tube, exactly where the fertilization has occurred, if here itself the implantation occurs, if here itself the implantation occurs, it will not be able to develop further into a fetus. That is why this has to be, if such a kind of pregnancy is noted, then it is a very fatal kind of condition. It has to be treated immediately. Okay, so the third one is, we can say, unsuccessful implantation. If a female has problem related with the egg cell production, she can take the hormonal pills, or hormonal injections could be given. If unsuccessful implantation is seen, if it is just because the endometrium is not much developed, then in that case also certain medications could be given, with the help of which the thickening could be increased. Or else, if there is any such condition where ectopic pregnancies, remember what is ectopic? It is when implantation has occurred within the fallopian tube. In that case, MTP is required, that is medical termination of pregnancy, abortion. So, this is all about today. We will continue in the next class. Thank you.